Hello! Today I'm going to be looking at a few books I would recommend for anyone wanting to write fiction. Whether you're just starting out, well established, writing short stories or scripts for stage and screen, these books are a great reference to help improve your writing. Story by Robert McKee. This was a required reading for me in my creative writing course at university, and being a poor student at the time, I was a bit annoyed about having to spend £25 on a book. However, if you're only going to get one book off this list, Story by Robert McKee should be it. Technically, this is a book about screenwriting, but don't let that put you off if you're not a screenwriter. I would say 99% of it can be applied to any form of traditional writing, such as novels and short stories. The copy I had, I read from cover to cover when I was a student, and I still refer back to it, even though I left university many years ago. Equally, if you're currently studying writing on any formal course, such as at college or university, this is not only a fantastic book to read for your own knowledge and to improve your writing, but it's also fantastic to use for quotes in essays. Just remember to reference it correctly. Save the Cat by Blake Snyder. Another book I was recommended by my tutor at university, and another book which is technically about screenwriting. Save the Cat by Blake Snyder is mainly about story structure, but covers lots of various elements of writing. It provides you with Snyder's cheat sheet, which is a good starting place on how to structure your story. If you're wondering about the title, Save the Cat is named after the idea that a character in a film, TV show, or story will do something good, such as saving a cat, very soon after they're introduced. This tells the audience they're supposed to like this character. Nowadays, it's not usually as obvious as the main character saving an actual cat, but you'll still see it in plenty of places. In Disney's Aladdin, we see the eponymous hero steal some bread. He goes through a lot of effort to get away from the guards chasing him, and finally gets to sit down to eat. Only then he sees two starving children, and decides to give them the bread instead, despite how hard it was to get hold of. This is a classic save the cat moment, which tells the audience this is a character you're supposed to like. Once you start looking out for these little moments, you'll see them in almost every film you watch. From Pitch to Publication by Carol Blake. From Pitch to Publication is a book about what to do once your story is written. It won't tell you anything about the writing process, only about what to do once your final draft is as polished as it can be and you're ready to send your manuscript into the world. Published in 1999, some of the information in this book is now out of date, and it mentions what to do if you're writing on a typewriter more than once, so not every single piece of information is as useful as it once was. However, most of it is as relevant today as it was in the 90s, and it's a must-read before you start sending your work out to literary agents. It's even more of a must-read if you're watching this and wondering what a literary agent is, or what they do. The Writers and Artists Yearbook by Bloomsbury. Ask any author in the UK, and the Writers and Artists Yearbook will be sitting prominently on their shelf, possibly several copies. As far as I'm aware, this book can only be used by people based in the UK or wanting to get published in the UK, and that's because it's more like a phone book than anything else. The yearbook is simply a big reference book, filled with the names and contact details of literary agents and publishers, with a bit of information about what they represent or want to publish. First published all the way back in 1906, the yearbook is now published each year as an updated version. Seemingly pointless in the day and age of the internet, it's actually still very useful. It means being able to pick up and flick through the pages and see exactly who wants what at a glance, without having to open 1,000 tabs on Chrome and hunt through an agent's website to see if they represent what you're writing. It does include some articles about how to improve your chances of landing an agent or getting published, but mainly it's a directory of useful people. Well worth picking up if you're at the stage of sending your work out to agents. So those are the books I would recommend to read if you're interested in improving your writing, whether it be novels, short stories, screenplays, or any other prose. Let me know in the comments if you have any recommended reading or favourite books to do with writing, as I'd love to check them out. Take a look at my other videos, especially my Short Guide 2 series, where I go through different elements of writing your own stories. And as always, happy writing!